नमस्कार। पहले तो तहे दिल से शुक्रिया कि आप सब इतनी भारी मात्रा में आए हैं आज हमारी फिल्म के लिए, तो उसके लिए आपके लिए ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज है। ऑल्सो तहे दिल से मैं शुक्रिया कहना चाहूँगा कि आपने हमारी प्रेम कहानी को इतना सारा प्रेम दिया है, स्नेह दिया है, एंड वी आर वेरी ओवरवेल्म्ड विद ऑल द लव दैट इज कमिंग आवर वे। ऐसा हुआ है कि आज की शुरुआत हम एक्चुअली एक ऑस्पिशियस वे से करना चाहते हैं। आप जैसे जानते हैं, जिन्होंने भी पिक्चर देखी है, वो फिल्म का जो अंत है वो उनकी शादी होती है फिल्म में, और हमने बहुत प्रेम, इनफैक्ट इसमें भी एक कहानी है, आलिया और रणवीर की शादी हुई थी, और फिर 4 दिन बाद हमारी सीक्वेंस हम शूट कर रहे थे आलिया और रणवीर की। तो आलिया उस हफ्ते 2 बार शादी कर चुकी थी, एक लिटरली रियल लाइफ और एक रियल लाइफ। और शादी की मेहंदी जो आलिया की है वो एक्चुअली इस फिल्म में जो थी वो सेम थी, अपनी शादी की मेहंदी, उसको बस दाखिल किया था हमने, और हम जाके जैसलमेर में हमने वो फिल्म वो गाना हमने दर्शाया, पिक्चराइज किया। वैभवी मर्चेंट ने इतनी खूबसूरती से उस गाने को पिक्चराइज किया, लेकिन जब लेंथ का प्रॉब्लम आने लगा, सबने कहा कि अरे 250 मिनट्स के नीचे होना चाहिए, डोंट क्रॉस 250 मिनट्स, 248 247 पे डाल दो। देन वी न्यू कि फिर हमको उस गाने को एक डब्बे में डाल देना था और रोलिंग क्रेडिट्स को फिर उसके साथ। It broke my heart as a filmmaker, truly as a filmmaker, it had broken my heart कि मैं उस गाने को अपनी पूरी ग्लोरी में सबको नहीं दिखा पाया। हम आज यही इस गाने कुड़मई को हम लॉन्च कर रहे हैं, और you will be the first to see it and then it will drop online. Ladies and gentlemen, favorite composition written so beautifully by Amitabh Bhattacharya, picturized as Rocky and Rani ki Shaadi, and I hope you enjoyed that. Before we go on, we would like to share this unit with you. I was very nervous, I was very stressed. That whole Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday prior to the release, I was on the verge of some kind of a panic attack. But and literally I think, but on Friday I think I started breathing and the oxygen started coming back, and the oxygen was the love that came from everyone, all of you and the audiences.
Hi Nikita, here from India Forums. My mom especially loved the bra conversation scene which happened. So I really want to ask all of you men over here, आपके घर में when was this topic normalized to talk about? When was this not considered as a taboo? When was it normalized at your places? Starting with you, Karan.
I am the only child raised by a very progressive mother. For members of the audience who know her, Bhatt being the first one I can see. It was never a taboo topic. I've gone shopping for her to buy a bra, and it's never been a problem with me. But I do know that while I did it, there were friends who were with me who were horrified that I was actually doing this, and why I wasn't designating this job to a female friend of mine to do it. And I was like, why? It's been asked by my mother, why am I sending somebody else to do it? Because my mother is now 81 years old, and when she does need something, and I am in a place that has that something, then I have to go and buy what she wants. It could be a bra, it could be any other item. For me, that scene felt organic, also because I knew that there is a discomfort around it, and there's a line that Chunni says, कि सदियों से वो औरतें मर्दों की चड्डियाँ घिस रही हैं, घिस, और तुम एक ब्रा को नहीं टच कर सकते. And that to me was very definitive of what people feel about it. I don't know what Chunni has to say, but like that was my feeling.
Absolutely. I remember that kiss was part of our improvisation.
Yes.
We put that in. And that is what women want to say, you know. If we've been washing your underwear for years, for centuries, why is it that touching a woman's bra or even mentioning it becomes such a problem? But then, personally, I'm not so preachy as Anjali is. And I think I gave Ranveer a very bad time that way. But of course, what has to be said has to be said. And I think we made a very strong point there because of Karan.
धर्मपाजी आपके
अरे रणवीर को बोलने दे.
धर्मपाजी
आप मेरी आवाज़ सुन सकते हैं आपके ठीक सामने. मैंने ये पूरी फिल्म देखी है, दिल से बोल रहा हूँ, ये सवाल दिल से है कि आपका वो किसिंग सीन बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल, बहुत ही प्यारा था. तो अगर कुछ थोड़ा बहुत अगर आप बता सकें.
किसिंग सीन के बारे में।
कैप्टन ने सब कुछ बता दिया। कैप्टन अच्छा हो तो टीम खूब खेलती है। ये कहते हैं कि 5 साल बाद आया हूँ करण, 5 साल बाद आए, 7 साल बाद आए, ये अपने जौहर दिखा कर जाएगा। मैंने जब पहले कहानी सुनी, मैं बड़ी कहानियों में भी काम किया, पैसे की हेल्प करने के लिए, मगर जिस दिन ये कहानी सुनी मुझे लगा ये घर घर की कहानी है। आप किसी भी कैरेक्टर को बोलो, आजकल छोटे छोटे बच्चे डांस करते हैं। मैं कैरेक्टर के लिए अपने बच्चे को पूरा खिला रही है, पूरा गा रही है, मैं धरती है मैं अभी तो रणवीर कपूर ही बनेगा। रणवीर ने जो किया है, he is really very good actor and a very emotional person. I enjoyed every bit of my time with this unit and और क्या कहूँ मैं, अभी तो शहर में नहीं दुनिया में चर्चा है कि रानी और रानी की कुछ है। बहुत मजा आया। मैं पिक्चर की बात कर रहा हूँ।
कि आपको ऑडियंस के रिएक्शन देखने चाहिए हॉल्स में, वो वाले सीन पे।
मैं बाईचांस जा नहीं सका पहले, मैं पता है मुझे लोगों की बहुत से मैसेज आ रहे हैं कि अपने ऐसा ऐसा मैंने यार, ये तो मेरे दाएं हाथ का काम है। मुझे कहा करण ने कि बाजी जो आप हैं वही रहना।
ये आप प्राइवेट बातें क्यों बाहर
और भी बताया मैंने, गुड स्टोरी एंड गॉड इज ग्रेट। और मुझे भी जब जब मौका मिलता है छक्का मारते आता हूँ, लेकिन आता हूँ तो आप लोगों ने जो दिलों में जगह दे रखी है मुझे, ये मैं जाने नहीं दूंगा।
के बारे में बताया एंड आपने बताया बहुत ही एनर्जेटिक है, पहली बार आप उनके साथ में काम कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हम ऐसा माने कि धर्मा को एक नया सुपरस्टार मिल गया है?
धर्मा को क्यों, इंडस्ट्री को सुपरस्टार बहुत पहले मिल गया था। पहले रणवीर सिंह यशराज का हीरो है और हमेशा रहेगा, और वो यशराज को पहले मिल गया था। ये धर्मा की खुशकिस्मती है कि रणवीर सिंह हमारे यहाँ भी आके उन्होंने बहुत बेहतरीन काम किया है, और हम यही चाहते हैं हमारे कंपनी में, आलिया और मेरी कंपनी में कि हम बार बार लगातार रणवीर हमारे साथ अगर काम करें तो मैं बस कहूँगा कि ज़हन नसीब।
एक्चुअली मैं करेक्ट करूँगी, हम बस चाहते हैं कि रणवीर सिंह हमेशा हर हफ्ते काम करते रहे, क्योंकि हर हफ्ते उनकी पिक्चर लगी और हर हफ्ते मैं टिकट खरीद के जाऊंगी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस टैलेंटेड बॉय। प्राउड ऑफ यू बेटा।
मेरी बिल्ली मुझे मियाओ। आप भी जानते हैं, आप भी आइए। And so that is true testament to the legacy of Dharma, and I'm only too proud to be a small part of it.
You know, for the first time in the history of Dharma, our logo is only 5 seconds because of length. So it goes, and that's it. If you notice, there is, yes, it's not because I was so paranoid about the length of the film that I was like, सब logos काट दो. So they said, no, काट नहीं सकते. मेरा title भी निकाल दो. So in every other film you hear the whole chorus, in mine is, cut. It is literally that much. So I'm so sorry that we had to do this for our film, but I felt like I am the only person who can do it and not upset anybody, because everybody else would want the whole chorus. But I said, but if I cut it, nobody will feel bad.
शुक्र है लोगों काटा तो लोगों को नहीं काटा. Thank you very much.
सीक्वल की तैयारी हो गई है.
हाँ, सीक्वल की तैयारी अभी वो राज को राज ही रहने देते हैं.
Total
without mic. Okay. Sir, as everybody calls you, how difficult is it for a man like you to become slightly independent?
Not really if my director is Mr. Karan Johar. Because for me, acting is actually trying to fulfill my director's vision in the best way possible. And when I work under somebody as sensitive as Karan sir, I know that I just have to listen to what he says and try to understand his vision. So whether that character becomes effeminate or slightly, or I get in touch with my feminine side, is not a matter of it's been presented by Mr. Karan Johar.
So was that difficult?
Not really. Honestly, ma'am, I didn't think about the process at all because it was a blind dive. It was a jump of trust. I trusted him and I submitted blindly to his vision.
Ranveer, how long did you take to learn Dola?
Weeks actually. We had a break between shoots, schedules. So we had some time. Best way to utilize it is to rehearse. Rehearsal is the name of the game for any performer.
He at one point, I'm sorry to interject, but he called me at one point and he says, he's like, Karan, I don't think I have a bone of Kathak in my body. Like, I really don't think I'm being able to do this. He was really initially struggling and that's why he worked extra hard.
It is because of extra muscle mass.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's... so yeah, oftentimes due to scheduling, us performers, we don't really get the ideal amount of time that one would like to rehearse. There's no end to how much you can rehearse. But here I had the opportunity and I took it with both hands.
Tell me, you had a couple.
Yeah, you've been working with Karan, you know, and he's known to be doing family films. And a very good message, and everybody comes, you know, all the audiences have also loved this film. Since you have married also recently, any message you would like to give for joint family and nuclear family, you know, like girls are now getting into nuclear family.
Any message that I would like to give through this film? I think this film says it all, and I think the what Karan said right now about the line that even Dharanji says in the film, very important time, कि घर नहीं तोड़ा जाता, रिश्ते नहीं तोड़ते. अभी इनके कैंसिल कल्चर सीन से ही ले लो, हम बहुत क्विक टू जज हो जाते हैं. समटाइम्स वी आर हार्डर इवन ऑन आवर ओन पीपल. लेकिन जो फैमिली आपकी स्ट्रेंथ और सपोर्ट बनती है, वो कोई नहीं बन पाता. और वो मेरे लाइफ में भी है, विथ माई फैमिली एंड माई होल फैमिली. My mother, both my mothers, my mom and my mom-in-law, my father here, my father up there, my sisters, my brother, my husband, my friends, they are the strongest support system in my life. तो उनको ज़्यादा granted ना ले और उनको ज़्यादा खुद से भी ज़्यादा अगर importance अगर आप दोगे, ज़िंदगी बहुत अच्छी कटेगी.
We did 3 more questions, right?
Congratulations for a wonderful film. Congratulations to the
Hi. Thanks.
I absolutely love the fact that you showed 2 married people falling in love with each other, and it wasn't just 2 maybe young college lovers, Ranveer sir and Shabana ma'am, and it kind of just made me go back to Kang, which when came kind of misfired but has found its own audience today. But I love your commitment to relationships which are called forbidden but aren't. So when you were attempting Rocky or Rani and you were showing this and you were writing, did you feel a sense of fear that will people get it again, or will it be like time lagega and then they might, you know, that it might find an audience later?
You know, more than the Dharamji, so we debated a lot with the Dharamji Jayaji track whether we should even show a younger version of it, and then we felt that we would leave it to the imagination of the audience. She says it, Shabana ji, as Jamani says it in an articulate manner, that those 7 days gave her a lifelong feeling of love. Those 7 days, I felt the relationship was just pure and beautiful and it stayed with her. Sometimes, you know, and then Alia also says it, कि कभी-कभी, you know, दो पल का साथ जिंदगी भर की मोहब्बत दे जाता है. And I felt that is the kind of emotion I wanted out of Jamini and Kaval's love story. For me, it was very pure. It was incomplete love though, and I felt it was beyond being a forbidden fruit or dwelling on infidelity. I felt it was an incomplete feeling because they both sacrificed their feeling because they were both married, and they sacrificed it for the good and stability of the family. And then I go back to Gulzar Saab's line कि प्यार कहाँ पूरा होता है, उसका पहला अक्षर ही अधूरा होता है. So I feel very strongly about that line.
Hi Ranveer.
एक बॉक्स ऑफिस पर बॉलीवुड के इस त्योहार की हम सबको बधाई. मेरा सवाल आपसे है
जी
कि तमाम सारी बहुत अच्छी कमाल की फिल्म आपने बनाई, लेकिन आखिरी में धनलक्ष्मी को शादी में ले आते तो आपका क्या बिगड़ गया?
धनलक्ष्मी की वजह से लाइट चली गई. इस लाइटों को भी धनलक्ष्मी से डर लगता है. ये जो बात आप कह रहे हैं बहुत जायज सवाल है. इस पर भी बहुत चर्चा हुई थी. मुझे लगता था कि बहुत सारे धनलक्ष्मी not allowing us to answer. I'm still going to go for it. I just feel that सारे जो कैरेक्टर्स थे उनका टर्न अराउंड हुआ था और लॉजिकल टर्न अराउंड था, इमोशनल टर्न अराउंड था. लेकिन जया जी यानी धनलक्ष्मी पिक्चर पर कहते हैं कि इस उम्र में मेरा घमंड और मेरा अहंकार मुझे मान ही नहीं देता कि मैं गलत हो सकती हूँ, फिर भी मैं तुम्हें ये शांति का प्रस्ताव भेज रही हूँ ताकि तुम उसके साथ ना करो जो मैंने किया था. तो एक किस्म की अपॉलॉजी भी दी थी और एक किस्म का उन्होंने फिर भी अपना अहंकार दिखाया था. मेरे हिसाब से कहानी वहां खत्म होती है जहां ये, लेकिन मुझे लगता है 10 दिन बाद रॉकी और रानी धनलक्ष्मी के यहाँ जाते हैं और उनकी ब्लेसिंग्स लेते हैं.
सर पार्ट 2 की स्टोरी बता दो.
लेकिन मैं नहीं चाहता था कि हर रिश्ते का एक टर्न अराउंड हो. लाइक आई फेल्ट दैट ऐसा नहीं होता, घरों में नहीं होता. ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो अपनी सोच के साथ रह जाते हैं. वो बहुत ही रिजिड होते हैं अपने थॉट्स में और वो नहीं बदलते अपने ख्याल. और मैं एक्चुअली दैट्स व्हाई मैंने उनका टर्न अराउंड नहीं दिखाया, क्योंकि असली जिंदगी में हर एक कैरेक्टर का परिवर्तन नहीं होता.
मेरा दूसरा सवाल रणवीर से है.
क्योंकि मुझे बनना नहीं आता. मैं हकीकत हूँ, जो दिल में है मन में है वो कह देता और मोहब्बत से बढ़कर कुछ नहीं. मोहब्बत आपकी न देती रोशनी अगर मेरे नाम को, कैसे बनता धर्म में आपका, पहुँचता कैसे इस मुकाम. इसके लिए खेल बोलता हूँ. इसके तो बचपन से मेरे बच्चे भी फैमिली के बेरुखी से उनकी रुख न मोड़ा मैंने, जिद को इनकी जिद से अपनी तोड़ा मैंने. आई ना माथे पे शिक जो दिल शिकनी से इनकी, मुस्कुरा कर गए लिपट एक दिन कहते हुए बेशरम कहेंगे. मुझे इस तरह का रोमांस अच्छा लगा, बहुत मज़ा आया. मैं तो जो बोलते थे मुझे मालूम था जो मैं भी कर रहा हूँ किया गया करने को, इसमें दम है. तो जैसे भी मैं निभा गया, आप लोगों ने पसंद किया. आप मतलब आप कैमरे नहीं देखते, आप पिक्चर भी देखते हैं. लव यू ऑल. आई एम हैप्पी because of my captain, my co-stars, my whole team. I'm grateful to them. It was a very nice time for me. ये ब्लैंड हुआ ऐसे, इनको देख के मुझे लगता है हमारे लड़की को कि ये गोल्डन डेज का राज का मिक्सचर है. गोल्डन डेज में हम लड़की को देखते थे, ये कभी प्रेम तो लड़की देखती रहती थी, देखते रहती. और आज भी था इसमें जो आर्ट है इनमें बहुत वेरी गुड, वेरी टैलेंटेड. प्रेशर should continue and give us some more good picture. And Ranveer, you think too, okay? We need you. Love you all. Any other question?
It's obvious we have to do a convo.
Hot obvio.
Hot obvio. Karan said in an interview that the
I read everything that you wrote on social media, Ida. Thank you so much. It really touched my heart. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
not to me that how much happy I was. Guys in a row have done the film, so yeah. I think once more I have to even say. But Karan also said in an interview that the couple performance you performed in the film could have gone down south, how people would have perceived it or not. Were you scared to step on the stage at that particular moment, perform? And what if, were you like triggered by that thought that they could have been a what if to it?
Well, in the initial days of rehearsal, I was a bit anxious because I've got a lot of muscle mass, babes. You know, my shoulders, chest, bicep, tricep, very big, very tight, a lot of muscle mass and density. So it was very difficult in the initial days. One had to uncondition one's body for the grace of Kathak to kind of come in. But I was getting reports that Tota sir is killing it in Kolkata. He's on it for hours a day, putting in the sweat, putting in the work, and yeah, he was doing it in Kolkata, I was doing it in Bombay, and I knew at the back of my mind that we were safe and secure because we were being choreographed by Beverly ma'am, and she is an absolute stickler for absolute excellence. तो वो छोड़ती नहीं जब तक उनको जो चाहे वो मिले नहीं. So all credit to her, to the choreography team who really put us through the paces till the very last hour, and I'm so thrilled with the reaction to that moment. I've been in the cinema halls personally to witness that, and it is the most euphoric, most fulfilling and joyous feeling to see the audience's reaction to that.
Yeah, so my question is to you. Journalist ये करना कैसे था? Because यारे को सब पूछ रहे थे आपको देखते वक्त. Literally I was wondering, I hope ऐसे करियर होता. Second question is, आपकी शादी के आसपास ही you were wearing the bridal gown and all, you know, after that. So how was that experience and what's Ranveer Kapoor's reaction to this?
To the journalist thing, honestly, my first day of shoot was my introduction in the film, और जहाँ पे मेरा scene होता है मिनिस्टर जी के साथ, और जो मैं अपनी बहुत ही पैशन के साथ बात कर रही थी उनके साथ, and I genuinely felt very comfortable doing that scene just because of how much I connected. And there is one more scene जो फिल्म में नहीं है, जहाँ पे मैं actually रिपोर्टिंग करी थी, उसमें मेरे को बहुत मज़ा आया. I don't know if I'll make a good journalist, but I definitely enjoyed that a lot. काफ़ी लोग मुझे कह रहे हैं कोई journalist ऐसी साड़ीज़ नहीं पहनती है, but हाँ, they're very simple sarees. But this is Karan Johar's version of that. To answer your question about Kudmai जो आपने अभी गाना देखा, yeah, actually it was in the same week. 4 days later जो मेरी शादी रियल लाइफ में हुई और फिर रियल लाइफ में हुई, बहुत ही अलग थी दोनों. My home wedding was in my simple, very light sari, बहुत ही easy था. मतलब मैं, you know, I was roaming around very freely. Here there was this heavy lehenga, सर पे मेरा एक का heavy दुपट्टा. I was definitely very grateful कि मेरा जो है शादी था बहुत ही simple था, घर पे था, because I would not have been able to do those things twice. And one interesting thing I'll tell you is जब हम फेरे ले रहे थे, रॉकी और रानी फेरे ले रहे थे, तो ऐसे उन्होंने कुछ कहा कि नहीं फिर लड़का आगे जाता है, ऐसे नहीं लड़की फिर आगे जाती है, नहीं ऐसा नहीं, मैं अभी करके आई हूँ यार, आपको पता है लड़की आगे जाती है. So that was one funny moment. And actually that moment, if you see in the song, जब रणवीर नीचे जाता है, he puts his head ahead like that and you know, lets me put the वरमाला on top of him. वो actually मेरे साथ हुआ था, जो पहले रणवीर को उठा दिया था और वो मुझे कोई उठा नहीं रहा था. मैं देख रही कोई उठाओ यार मुझे. Then he only went on his knees and he went down and I put the वरमाला. So that was, तो काफी close हो गया सब.
किस बात पे बिलीव करती हैं आलिया जी?
हाँ,
किस बात पे
He loved the film. He was very into. He sat Ranveer on my left and my mother on my right and my father right next to my mother, and the four of them were just responding and reacting, and just the way Ranveer said to really see a film from your loved one's perspective. And Ranveer is very technical. He doesn't say too much. He says very little, and he just very simply said it really worked for me. It touched the heart. He was laughing, and he said this film will be a big.
Alia, Justin here from Indian Express towards your right at the back. Recently we watched an interview revealed that Prem for Tum Kya Mile, you visited Shah Rukh Khan for a day. I mean, you had a meeting with him. What exactly transpired, and how much did that help in making the song?
Actually, I was not going to reveal this. It was my little secret. But I was very nervous. I don't know whether it was going back to shoot after a couple of months. First time doing a full proper lip sync song after, I think, Ishq Wala Love. Yeah, that kind of, that there was an inherent sort of nervousness in me, which I felt that I can do something more to do better. So I was discussing with Karan, and Karan said, why don't you call Shah Rukh up? Maybe he'll give you some tips. So I called him up to talk on the phone. I just want to understand from you because nobody lip syncs like you. And he said, "Tu ghar aaja." Suhana also was wanting to learn this, तो दोनों को साथ में हम ट्यूशन करेंगे, क्लास करेंगे, तो तू गाना लेके आ जा. And we went, and I was there for like about 2-3 hours, and Suhana और मैं पूरा एक गाना गा रहे थे. There's a whole lip sync portion which Shreya has sung beautifully, जो हम अभी release करने वाले हैं, the extended version of तुम क्या मिले. No, the video.
Oh, the video.
The video हम release करने वाले, the extended version. तो वो बहुत fast जा रहा था, तो मैं बहुत hyper हो रही थी वो fast को लेकर. But the way he broke it down, he made me download some app, and he said ये बार करो. He also had learned the song by the end of it. It just shows how generous and such a large-hearted man, and so wonderful, and just always willing to help and be there for you. And whether it helps for this film or not, I know that experience will be irreplaceable in my life.
करण के बारे में बताया, एंड आपने बहुत ही एनर्जेटिक है, पहली बार आप उनके साथ में काम कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हम ऐसा माने कि धर्मा को एक नया सुपरस्टार मिल गया है?
धर्मा को क्यों, इंडस्ट्री को सुपरस्टार बहुत पहले मिल गया था. पहले रणवीर सिंह यशराज का हीरो है और हमेशा रहेगा, और वो यशराज को पहले मिल गया था. ये धर्मा की खुशकिस्मती है कि रणवीर सिंह हमारे यहाँ भी आके उन्होंने बहुत बेहतरीन काम किया है, और हम यही चाहते हैं हमारे कंपनी में, आलिया और मेरी कंपनी में, कि हम बार लगातार रणवीर हमारे साथ अगर काम करें, तो मैं बस कहूँगा कि ज़हन नसीब.
एक्चुअली मैं करेक्ट करूँगी, हम बस चाहते हैं कि रणवीर सिंह हमेशा हर हफ्ते काम करते रहे, क्योंकि हर हफ्ते उनकी पिक्चर लगी और हर हफ्ते मैं टिकट खरीद के जाऊंगी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस टैलेंटेड बॉय. प्राउड ऑफ यू बेटा.
मेरी बिल्ली मुझे मियाओ. आप भी जानते हैं, आप भी गाइए. And so that is true testament to the legacy of Dharma, and I'm only too proud to be a small part of it.
You know, for the first time in the history of Dharma, our logo is only 5 seconds because of length. So it goes, and that's it. If you notice, then it's not because I was so paranoid about the length of the film that I was like, सब logos काट दो. So they said, no, काट नहीं सकते. मेरा title भी निकाल दो. So in every other film you hear the whole chorus, in mine is cut. It is literally that much. So I'm so sorry that we had to do this for our film, but I felt like I am the only person who can do it and not upset anybody, because everybody else would want the whole chorus. But I said, but if I cut it, nobody will feel bad.
शुक्र है लोगों काटा था, लोगों को नहीं काटा. Thank you very much.
सीक्वल की तैयारी हो गई है?
हाँ, सीक्वल की तैयारी अभी उरास को राज ही रहने देते हैं.
Totally without mic. Sir, as everybody calls you, how difficult is it for a man like you to become slightly different?
Not really if my director is Mr. Karan. Because for me, acting is actually trying to fulfill my director's vision in the best way possible. And when I work under somebody as sensitive as Karan sir, I know that I just have to listen to what he says and try to understand his vision. So whether that character becomes effeminate or slightly, or I get in touch with my feminine side, it's not a matter of it's been presented by Mr. Karan.
So was that difficult?
Not really. Honestly, ma'am, I didn't think about the process at all because it was a blind dive. It was a jump of trust. I trusted him and I submitted blindly to his vision.
Ranveer, how long did you take to learn Johar?
Weeks actually. We had a break between shoots, schedules. So we had some time. Best way to utilize it is to rehearse. Rehearsal is the name of the game for any performer.
He at one point, I'm sorry to interject, but he called me at one point. He says, he's like, Karan, I don't think I have a bone of Kathak in my body. Like, I really don't think I'm being able to do this. He was really initially struggling, and that's why he worked extra hard.
It is because of extra muscle mass.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's so yeah. Oftentimes, due to scheduling, us performers we don't really get the ideal amount of time that one would like to rehearse. There's no end to how much you can rehearse. But here I had the opportunity and I took it with both hands.
Tell me, you had a couple. liked the film, but the best part was the casting.
Yes.
From there to here,
Yes.
it was fantastic. But tell me how difficult was it?
It was easy. I had Shanu Sharma. Shanu Sharma is a rock star casting director. And here's a little secret. She's an exclusive YRF power force. But she is allowed to only do my directorial films because Adi is such a dear friend of the family that he has allowed Shanu to work for me when I direct a film, and I am humbled and privileged because she's so amazing. All these wonderful actors, besides Ranveer and Alia, of course, that I took the liberty of casting myself.
So I'm also Shanu Sharma.
Yes, you are also Shanu's talent.
By the way, so am I. Even I'm Shanu Sharma's discovery.
Yes,
Yeah.
so Shanu Sharma must be given due credit. But whether it was Churni and Tota and Anjali and Shiti, Amir Bashir, Namit Das, Abhinav Sharma, the entire cast of the film, besides Jaya ji, Dharam ji and Shavana ji and Ranveer and Alia, both Shanu Sharma proteges. It was her. I had nothing. She used to show me the audition. I used to always tell her, send me two that you love. Chanto apne aap or send me two. It was a no-brainer seeing these auditions. They were like my first choices as soon as I saw them. From Churni there right up to Shiti and everyone in between were my first choices. And I was very happy that this film is what it is only because not only of the writing force but the actor energy.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's all we have for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Who do I give this chance to?
Sir, as everybody calls you, how difficult is it for a man like you to become slightly independent?
Not really if my director is Mr. Karan Johar. Because for me, acting is actually trying to fulfill my director's vision in the best way possible. And when I work under somebody as sensitive as Karan sir, I know that I just have to listen to what he says and try to understand his vision. So whether that character becomes effeminate or slightly, or I get in touch with my feminine side, it's not a matter of it's been presented by Mr. Karan Johar.
So was that difficult?
Not really. Honestly, ma'am, I didn't think about the process at all because it was a blind dive. It was a jump of trust. I trusted him and I submitted blindly to his vision.
Ranveer, how long did you take to learn?
Weeks actually. We had a break between shoots, schedules. So we had some time. Best way to utilize it is to rehearse. Rehearsal is the name of the game for any performer.
At one point, I'm sorry to interject, but he called me at one point and he says, he's like, Karan, I don't think I have a bone of Kathak in my body. Like, I really don't think I'm being able to do this. He was really initially struggling and that's why he worked extra hard.
It is because of extra muscle mass.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's... so yeah, oftentimes due to scheduling, us performers, we don't really get the ideal amount of time that one would like to rehearse. There's no end to how much you can rehearse. But here I had the opportunity and I took it with both hands.
Tell me, you had a couple.